So this was a build around submission for Fiora Shyvana with a Targon Splash. So Shyvana is one of our Dragons Matters champions. So 4/4 for 4, gets bigger when she attacks, and she notably levels when she's seen you deal 12 plus damage. My preferred way to play Shyvana, as people know who have watched the channel before, is to pair her with Screeching Dragon here. Just another really good quality unit. 4/5 for 5 with Challenger to help you control the board, and also gets bigger when it kills things. And then, notably, when we pair this with Targon, a big advantage we get from playing Shyvana and Screeching Dragon as our only dragons is Dragon's Clutches becomes a super consistent tutor. It gets us exactly what we want every single time. Draws you 2 different dragons, so you're guaranteed to get Shyvana and Screeching Dragon. We also pair these with things like Concerted Strike and Single Combat to help our dragons deal extra damage to level her up sooner. And then Fiora is our second champion here, who's another really good board control card. So 3/3 for 3 with Challenger, who levels when she's killed 2 enemy units. And then her leveled mode is one of Runeterra's alternate win conditions. So her leveled mode says, when I've killed 4 things, you win the game outright. So I think Cheeky Aesol is really bad in this deck, Innuendo, because adding any other dragons means that my dragons' clutches become less consistent. They become random as opposed to always guaranteeing me drawing Shyvana and Screeching Dragon. The bottom end of our curve is pretty typical Demacia stuff. Fleet Feather Tracker, Bright Steel Protector. One card we get to play that's excellent because we have the Dragon sub-theme is Dragon Guard Lieutenant, a 3/2 for 2 that gains Challenger if you have a dragon in play or in hand when you play it out. So let's go ahead and dive on into a few games here with this and see how it goes. Did I make a command for Cyberpunk? I feel like I should. I did. Look at that. God bless you, Past Jeff. Let's link 2077 as a command as well. That's kind of funny. The opponent is also playing a Fiora Targon deck, but notably, they are not playing a second champion. No second champion to me would imply that they're likely playing Solari Priestess, looking to use that Written in the Stars to fish up Fiora. A mulligan, our expensive card, keep these other lower curve things. So, here's the thing you need to understand. I know having your unit like Fleet Feather Tracker die to go hard feels bad, but when you actually take a second and digest what's happening in that exchange, it's actually fine. So, Fleet Feather Tracker, when it trades with their Go Hard, is a tempo even exchange. They spent 1 mana and a card to kill your 1 mana card. So you got a 1-for-1 that was even on mana. That also being said, there's way more to Runeterra than just the Go Hard deck, and if you look at the metagame breakdowns, the Go Hard deck is like 10 to 15% of the ladder tippy tops. So even if the card was bad there, which I don't think it is, it's still okay there, it's not a big deal. Thanks, Brinkwater. So even if they Sharp Sight here, this is fine. Because I have a single combat to finish this off down the line, I think. It could be right to only attack with Mountain Goat, but I think with this down the line here and our Bright Steel Protector, this is probably fine. Yeah, and Tracker has a lot of upside, right? Like Tracker paired with barrier cards means a lot. Tracker paired with barrier cards means that they're just passing. You're just doing this. Tracker paired with barrier cards in a lot of instances means that it can generate value. So if the downside is it trades 1-for-1 and even on tempo, and the upside is it generates card advantage, it's a fine card. And that's actually, you know, to talk about spoilers for a second, Zoe, I think, is a card a lot of people are going to really underrate for similar reasons. I think Zoe's a card where people are going to go, Zoe's just going to die a lot, but in reality, that's fine if she dies, because Zoe's going to trade tempo even or tempo positive if they kill her with a 2+ mana card. And then, past that, if she lives, she could generate some real card advantage.
Nothing to hold me back.
Stand alone. Yep. Even all things considered, that still came up fine. Fleet Feather and see what they do. Yeah, I think Zoe is often going to draw a card, and then after she draws a card, she's going to trade tempo positive a lot of the time. How do we feel about burning their mana here? I think I'm kind of into it. Being able to pass with Bastion and having Bastion and Riposte up next turn seems really good. I think I'm into... So passing here, I get to bank my mana. They only get to bank some, so they burn a little bit. Who's Birdman? I'm assuming they're referring to Hawktie Live, who is a previous Magic the Gathering player that was banned from playing Magic the Gathering for being a garbage human being. And if you're not familiar or wonder why I would say that about someone, I would encourage you to Google Todd Stevens MTG. That is the previous thing that he rebranded away from. I think we just let this happen. It's very possible that because of this open attacks here, I messed up last turn by not playing a gem. I think there's a good chance I should have gemmed last turn. Yeah, you know you're probably not a great person when you have to stop using your actual name and rebrand to something else. Kind of want to play this dragon. You know what? I should gem this so they can't single combat here for free. Or they just pass deal.
My shield is yours.
Seven, 8, 9, 15. Who's got 2 thumbs and dies to Judgment? This guy right here. Do I play around Judgment? I feel like I can afford to play around Judgment, right?
Prepare for battle.
He wrote a very typical, I'm not sorry for the things that I did, but I'm sorry people were offended by them type post that you see from people like that frequently write. It is a big Fiora. Yeah, he also advertised his socials and returning to making content in his apology. So it was less of an apology and more of an advertisement. Yeah, maybe I'm just in a position that I can't beat Judgment here because of all the other tricks they could have. That's probably the case.
Let them eat swords. En garde.
Yeah, I think I should have just attacked last turn. I don't think we could beat Judgment. I should have just made them have it.
Among the dragon god.
We are your people, Anna, and you ours.
I think I played this game poorly. I think I left myself in a bad position by refusing to play around their card. Yeah, I don't feel bad. I have commands for everything. Anything that's a question that gets asked like more than twice.
Test my patience.
All right, did concerted strike in second single combat. Also dead to that one. So, their Fiora killed 4 things here, so she gets to level.
Unacceptable.
The alternative win gun animations are stellar. This actually seems pretty good, huh? I'm gonna mulligan the concerted strike, looking for like a 3 or a 4 to curve in between these 1s and 2s. Perfect. It's okay, little. Play with your snowball. Oh shoot! I just realized I haven't had my ad banner up this morning. Whoops. Shh. Don't tell anyone. I toggled it off because it was in the way. It was in the way while I was doing a You were just memeing. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Wellborn. I appreciate that.
Break their spirits and their soul.
And their swords. Just gonna pass here. Don't mind baking spell mana. If they want to attack in, I'm happy to sharp sight. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Wellborn. Why sign your Legends of Runeterra cards? If you print them out, I would be happy to sign and return them. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I'm actually not sure. I don't think I've checked my P.O. box since the pandemic began. I think that requires. I should find out if that requires going inside still. I really don't want to go inside to get mail. I should ask Christy to look into that. I literally already had a build around submission submitted for Riven Battle Fury. Press a pick.
Never again will we fall to Dragonfire.
Ejecti, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Don't get in my way.
Is it crazy to gem this so that way I get to kill this through a sharp sight? I think I'm into that. I guess the gem is useful later. I'm just gonna attack. They already played one sharp sight. It could be right to gem to have a better chance of killing this, though. Alright, I have another challenger rolled up already. Yeah, single combat's more likely. Yeah, I agree. Riven seems very reasonable. Press pick. Here's a lot of different shells she can go into. Oh, also, something else that's exciting, I was able to get in contact with the people that did my sub animations, and they are going to be updating the card back on my sub animation, so it won't be a magic card looking back anymore. I think I'm just gonna have them put my Jester logo on the back of it, so that way it's channel specific and not game specific. Deal. Resolves. You got me. Ha! You know what? Maybe I'm supposed to double gem here. Double gem would have been an attack for lethal. I think I messed that up. We 100% should have double gemmed there.
Doesn't all that armor slow you down?
Slow and steady wins the war, Lucian.
I think this might be the same person as earlier. Or if not, this list must have gotten posted somewhere. I'm really bad at remembering usernames. It's also Lucy and Garen with the Shadow Isle splash like we saw earlier.
Lead our charge.
Demacia, now and forever.
So, the tough part about the fact that they have Garen down now is that Garen's champion spell is Judgment. Which means, like, that's a card I kind of have to worry about. Just top deck Bastion. That would be the ideal play.
Stay resolute.
This is a good one.
Whatever are they for?
Whale poop. Wait, did they just harrowing back 2 things? I was really nervous there for a second.
My shield is yours.
Run them through. Hardly fair.
Right on.
The wicked must fall.
So I'm pretty sure Donald Trump would describe that harrowing as the biggest harrowing and the best harrowing. A harrowing like nobody's ever seen before, chat. Only if he cast it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So they're gonna get a rally token here because of this. Hey, thanks, Jebediah, and thank you for the 12 months. Let's get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. So I have exactly 10 mana. Does it get better than open attacks here? That's a good question. Probably not. I think the turn I played around Judgment earlier, I shouldn't have. I could have killed them. I also there was a turn this game where I could have double gemmed and then attacked. Okay, we didn't get punished. So like, we were very lucky to win that. I definitely did not play that game well. I had a turn where we could have double gemmed and killed them with an open attacks, and there was another turn where I elected to play around a Judgment and I shouldn't have. I just should have tried to kill them. I left the door, but I gave my opponent a lot of chances to win that game. I definitely should have played Go Fish sooner and just tried to make them have it. It's important. It's important to remember that just because you won a game doesn't mean you played it perfectly. Just because you lost a game doesn't mean you made mistakes. There's always some nuance there. Twisted Fate Ezreal, you have my attention. Mulligan the single combat looking for a cheaper unit, but I think I'm happy with the rest of these. So the coverage stuff for Sunday was actually subbed out to the Giant Slayer folks, the people that run some of the community tournaments. They were stellar to work with. They were super well organized. It's refreshing doing things and working with people who are professionals.
Always 2 steps ahead.
I'm going to pieces!
Precision and grace.
Sure. Yeah, hopefully HDA. Their next tournaments are ways off. I also mentioned earlier, but I wouldn't be super surprised if even if they were happy with my casting, if they rotated through some other people. Runeterra Esports is still very new, so I wouldn't be upset if they wanted to try out a few different people. They've also been using the same people consistently for Europe stuff so far, though. So maybe if they find people they like, they're gonna stick with them. We'll see. Like I said, still they're 2 months until the next seasonal. Do I want to hold up Sharp Sight for Shyvana this turn? I think so. I think that their actual company name is like Wisdom Media. But Giant Slayer LOR is their Twitch channel, I believe, for when they run their community events. I think people generally overreact to Fiora getting tricks towards her level up. It's really correct to play her on the alternate. That's not really a black and white thing, Ron. That's something that has flexibility depending on like what situation you're in a particular game.
Do not test my patience.
It's gonna take the hit here, so I can not lose this to a combat trick or a direct damage spell, because then we'll have protection up next turn. Always use protection, chat. Keeps your units alive. Okay. So still pretty far off of leveling. I think I want to just Goat here and be able to have some flexibility on these other things. Concerted Strike's actually pretty fun with Goat. Lets you generate extra gems. I think I'm just taking the pass here if they offer it. We burn 2 mana, but I think that's fine. We can play Cythria plus Hold Riposte or Sharp Sight up next turn.
I've whipped up something special.
Deckhand. Do I want to Concerted Strike? I don't think so. Huh? I think this is fine. We'll save this here. And then I get to bank 1 spell mana, which means I can Cythria plus Sharp Sight next turn, so we go up to 7 plus 1 is 8. Opponent's a little bit ahead on board at the moment, but we're up on cards in hand, so I think we're in an okay spot. Hey, good game, Siller. Okay, Rummage is very good here. Lets them gas back up.
If I kill you, I don't fortunes.
Show them what we're made of. Stand for what's right.
Do this here, try and let the dragon live. They could have third Mystic Shot or like a Get Excited. I think that's fine if so. We're gonna have 8 mana total next turn, so there's a chance we get to play whatever dragon we generate with this as well before we attack.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
The more we learn, the less we fear. We're about to get sharked, chat. We're about to get sharked. So I wanna attack here. Oh, you know what? I should gem this. I should gem that there, so that way it doesn't, Yeah, if I would have... Oh, wait, is it only taking 2? Ha-ha! Nailed it. They might play Make It Rain. And with Twisted Fate, it was probably right to gem this last turn. It's working out because they have a keg, but it was probably right to gem this.
You'll fight or you'll swim.
Where's my journal?
Darth Smog, thank you for the follow. And Jot Zudabin, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel, folks. It's probably right to hold this up until they attack because of Ezreal. Going down to 6. Trading their 3-1 for my 1-3 when I'm at 6 seems like a real big win for us. Got combat tricks. Unfortunate Sage, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I agree, she's cute. They really nailed the baby parts of her animations too. She sucks on her thumb, she chews on her toes. Just whoever designed this had definitely watched a small child. Am I dead yet? We're dead, double mystic shot here, right? Oh, I should wait for this to attack, because they could have second Ezreal, right? Little things, chat, they matter. Hey, Zax. May surprise favorite decks for the tournament over the weekend. Yeah, the Oriensol had a few different Oriensol decks, made really deep runs, which was sweet. This is 12-16, so not quite lethal yet. Gotta live on the edge for one more turn. It's real scary. It says 3 targeting it. If I Bastion this, it lives.
You're covered.
And then I have 4 lethal attackers next turn with this riposte. Gonna be a close game. They could peel another Get Excited here.
Oh, that's a harvest right there.
I think that's a wash, right? And it's funny, this actually means I should have barriered that one. I think this is a wash. I'm only going to have 3 lethal attackers next turn regardless. I guess it's probably right to save this, huh? Alright, have Hearthstone lethal here to start. The fact that they played their hand out means that... The fact that they played their hand out here means that Get Excited is no longer a lethal draw for them. This attack seems really bad. That's true. That's true. There were 5 buff caps in 23 cards. All right, you know what? 1 is not 0. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, champ, if you didn't end the game at 1 life, did you really utilize all your resources efficiently? Yeah, exactly. Hank gets it. If you end the game with exactly 1 life, you used all your resources as efficiently as possible. Your life total is a resource to be leveraged. Ezreal Draven, eh? Mulligan the Bastion. It's nice later, but it's expensive to start. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. 1, 2, 3... It's just Curvimentary. We had 5 puff caps and 23 cards. They had literally played 1 puff cap card. This is a great pickup too.
Vaulted Dragonfire.
Save your world. We speak with blades.
We speak with blades. What are the odds the Draven Ezreal deck has no play here? 0%? Like, they have Mystic Shot or Death's Hand or something here, right? Is it? I think I want to just burn their mana here. I'm likely giving up 3 points of damage to do so, but I think especially with Dragon's Clutches being a little bit of card advantage here, I can go a little bit long, and there's value in tempoing them a little bit here at the cost of some life. The Persian, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I have done a little bit of commentary for the community run tournaments that I had run on my own channel here, Nick Makes Plays. That was my first time doing a major event like that.
Watch and learn.
Orion Sol was mean to me one time when I played him, so I'm not saying his name correctly. You gotta be nice to me if you want me to pronounce your name correctly. Is Easy Draven kind of overrated? I don't think Easy Draven is overrated at all. I just think something that card game players are bad at adapting and learning and changing, and something that's very different about Runeterra coming from other card games is that the best decks in Runeterra do not stand head and shoulders above everything else in this game. And people are so used to coming from other games like Magic and Hearthstone, where the difference between the best deck and the 10th best deck is really large. Whereas in Runeterra, first best deck and the 10th best deck, or even the 20th best deck in some cases, are pretty close in power level, and you can play reasonable games against each other. I have a blanket policy of treating cosmic dragons with respect just in case. That's probably a good idea. Arian Sol seems like the kind of dude that's gonna end up at my house and like throw a brick through my window. They just missed getting an axe, right? If they would have whirlinged with this, they could have generated an axe. Playing around single combat, sure. It's a good observation. Alright, so they're gonna tell one of my champions to get flocked here. One of my units to get flocked. I think we're playing Screeching Dragon from the purpose of resource efficiency here. We'll get to take a hit from Draven this turn, bank a spell mana, and then we'll have 10 next turn. I don't think I want to use this to give them +1/+1 just yet. I have one more Screeching Dragon in my deck, so this is still a draw 2 at the moment. I think there's a good chance that I want this to draw 2 cards. Not blocking here because they're a Mystic Shot deck. If I block with the dragon and they Mystic Shot, they're going to get to quick attack to kill it, which is not a worthwhile exchange for us. My life total is still relatively high.
They don't know what they're up against. Thought you'd never ask.
I think I play Shyvana out here to try and level her. Unfortunately, I can't hold up double combat tricks.
Strike quickly, strike.
Well, EOT's been a sub for a while, so they should be able to get into the Discord server right away. So there's only a delay getting to the Discord server if you just subbed today. Yeah, as soon as you link it, there should be a button to join the server. You should see it there in your connections tab, a join server button. That was Snuggle Bear, Factor Fiction.
Never keep a dragon waiting.
Alright, so this is the everyone dies portion of the turn. Oh, I guess my dragon lives. Yeah, and this kind of highlighting why I wanted to wait on the dragon's clutches here, because now, like, you know, they're up on cards, so this being a way to draw 2 here feels good.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
I felt good, Rune. I feel like the event went well overall. Hey, the Dem Design, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Ty Glorious, thank you for the 17 months. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the variety stuff. I've been having a good time with it too. Seth, did your donation go through? I wasn't looking at my dashboard. It did. Mushroom deck built around the new landmark. Sounds great. Thank you for your generosity. Appreciate it. I think we might be dead, chat fam. You're in a Mystic Shot, my dome here, I assume. I guess I can, I guess we could technically kill Ezreal next turn. And the new cards are, the new set release is Wednesday afternoon. So there were spoilers from today, but the new card drop hasn't happened yet.
Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
How many boats does this game have? 4. Misfortune, Sajani, Swain, Gangplank, I believe, are the ones that we have. Oh, we're just dead at burst speed, right? Yeah, Tusk Rider was a Tribeam generator.
Unacceptable.
You know, I was thinking about why it's harder to climb in Runeterra than a lot of other card games, and the fact that Runeterra doesn't give you free losses at the rank floor, you just have to constantly be winning more than you're losing, definitely makes it more challenging. The other ladder systems are way more forgiving because they give you free losses every time you hit a new plateau. Mono Anivia, eh? I'm gonna mulligan these, looking for cheaper stuff to curve with this. It's a holdover from League proper. I hate it personally. Nah, I think it's fine. While it's technically possible to still get to Masters with a just barely over 50% win rate, I think making sure that, like, people are actually playing at their appropriate skill levels in the rankings is meaningful. It kind of adds extra variance to laddering in a way, that other system, right? Because under that other system, if you get lucky and put your losses right when you hit plateaus, it's like they didn't happen, right?
You can see the Demacian border from here. Prepare for battle.
It's gonna get this trade in here. They're a Vile Beast deck anyways, so that's pretty likely to die. Just want to push my damage early and often in this matchup before the beatdown. Well, so Runeterra has a rank floor, but what games like Magic Arena do, at least, when you hit like Diamond 2, for example, at Diamond 2, you get 1 free loss to give.
Got your back.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
You're covered.
This single combat's not likely to do much. I'm gonna do this in response. this out of the way. Sure. So they're gonna take 6 here. Alright, so we're getting Avalanche next turn. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit yesterday in the subs Discord. There's a lot of while Runeterra is newer and I haven't seen as much of it, there's definitely a little bit of elitism in games from the competitive aspect, and I think part of that comes from, you know, a lot of people, we talked earlier about how card games are what are referred to as lifestyle games, where it's very easy to get very invested in a card game, and I think because of that aspect, it's very easy, not very easy, because of that aspect, there's a tendency among players that are really heavily invested in games to feel like they need to put down other people, because by putting down other people, it's like their success is more valid if their success, if there's less other people that also have success. So, notable at the start of this turn, my opponent only had 8 mana, so Ruination wasn't a card we had to play around, which is nice. Feels bad to lose Fiora there, but it is what it is. Alright, can Bastion drag us over the finish line?
A storm approaches.
Threat. Alright, I mean, wish granted. Vengeance me, daddy. Vengeance me. I don't think competitive scenes as a whole are inherently toxic, but I definitely think you'll find toxic individuals within all of them. So, for reference, this is one of the things that's really busted about our opponent's deck. They get to Harsh Winds here now. Although, their timing there is kind of bad, right? Because now I get to hit them for... Gosh, we're so close. We put them to 4 here. Because of their timing. Yeah, we needed 1 more mana. It's not bad. That's not something that's unique to card games. Or unique to Runeterra. PCP tree, thanks for... No! Oh shit! I should have played this proactively. Crap, they're gonna frostbite me? No, we have them dead through frostbite, right? It's fine. It's fine. Everybody, nobody panic! I'm not panicking, you're panicking. My play was fine. Thanks for the follow, PCP tree. Ben Rig, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Nobody panic! Everything is under control. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Thanks, Quar. Right, so Kalista Elise, likely fearsome aggro, definitely mulliganing Bastion to start against an aggressive deck. Our hand's actually pretty good here, right? We've got the Screeching Dragon to enable the Lieutenant. We've got 2 cheap things with 3+ power to block fearsomes. Fiora is a wonderful addition here. Oh, I don't have a Kenshi mode. That's fine. This is just as good as a Kenshi mode for a start of game. She's so excited to be playing Runeterra, chat. When your goat gets to generate more than 1 gem, chat, is there a better feeling? Delicious.
By my honor, you must die.
This card is such a good case study / example, whatever you want to call it, of how big of a difference a second point of toughness makes in this game. Like, this card would be unplayable as a 3/1. But it's just, like, great as a 3/2.
Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
Deactivating my Facebook account was a huge quality of life upgrade. Which, whenever I bring that up, I like to inform people of something most people don't seem to know. If you're someone like myself who likes using Facebook Messenger on mobile to communicate, you can actually deactivate your Facebook account and still use their Messenger client. You can just only chat with people that you are already friends with. So, Zuck still got some of my data, but I don't have to deal with Grandpappy Boomer telling me all about how the election was stolen from their god emperor, so
Come closer.
there's some real upside there.
What's the fire breath?
We just Lieutenant here.
Soldier should know.
It could be right to Screeching Dragon to try and work towards leveling her. Gem here for the extra blocker. Remember when YouTube comments were the worst part of the internet? Fond memories. Memories, all alone in the moonlight. Do 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 do. For anybody out there like Tom who is aware that YouTube comments tend to be a stain, by the way, if you've never stopped by my YouTube content before, I read and moderate my YouTube comments, so if you ever want to have a discussion with me or other people in the comments section of my YouTube video, it's a reasonable place to do that. So, if you're watching this on YouTube or any of my other videos in the future, that's a great way to get a hold of me. I read those messages. Ben Drake, thanks for the follow.
Now I take to the sky.
Speaking of YouTube comments, today's the last day of the giveaway, which also, because of that, encouraging people to comment in my YouTube videos with random spammy type stuff has made it harder to read everything. I still am, but yeah. But yeah, it was, Do you use Sharpsight to save Shyvana? No, I don't think so. I think saving all of these to Voltron Fiora is fine. See, chat at home. Chat at home didn't realize Shyvana was on top of my deck. Little did you know. Dragons clutches to draw exactly the 2 dragons you want is just so good. It's just delicious. Hey, not everyone's schedule lines up well into when I stream live, and I appreciate the folks that check out the YouTube stuff after the fact. That's annoying. Watch yourself, Severus. That's true, we aren't professionally lucky, so we can't make those plays. Big mood. Talking about YouTube, does chat know why there haven't been highlights the last couple of days? Yeah, it's been a week, actually. Yeah, I started a second YouTube channel for just Runeterra highlights. There's also spoiler videos there. So if you want my thoughts on those things, be sure to drop a sub over there. And I had folks that expressed interest in only wanting a Runeterra only channel. But I don't plan to stop streaming variety stuff and posting anytime soon, so the second channel is just dedicated to Runeterra stuff. Still plan to post full-length stream segments on my previous channel. Hey, Radiek, thanks for the Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so with these plays, I think we want to gem here, so that way this can block and survive. My board is not spooked. I ain't scared. No fear. On guard. Do this. Sorry, I know I'm swapping these around a lot. Opponent's probably real annoyed. What do I think of Runeterra? I think Runeterra has the best core game design of any card game I have ever played anywhere. It's a lot of fun. There's a reason why I stopped playing Magic the Gathering, even though streaming Magic made me way more money. I'm much happier playing a better, well-designed, well-managed card game. Calling out mistakes that I've made via YouTube comments. Usually I'm not gonna. It doesn't add a lot of value for me personally. AK on Twitch. But if you ever have a question about why I made a particular play that I didn't call out in the video, I can usually still comment on that. So if you're looking for that sort of feedback, did I miss? No, I didn't have enough mana for there. We can dodge Harrowing. We can dodge a ball there. Oh look, they have what's it called on top of their deck? Is having a second YouTube channel better for the YouTube algorithm? I believe so. So basically every other major content producer has a dedicated channel where they only post one video per day, and then they have a second channel where they post full stream archives. So I assume that that's optimal. FT Combo, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. How do you feel about alternative win cons with Fiora? So, I've talked about this before. I don't think the alternative win con on Starspring is a failure of Starspring or a bad design. I do think, however, it's highlighted a failure with their current release cycle. I really think the Runeterra team, if they wanted to split these cards up over the course of multiple set releases, we should have gotten all of the landmark interaction cards in the first card drop. So I think the mistake slash failure to point out there is that the sequencing of how they ordered the interaction wasn't ideal. I think once we get this next card drop, the landmarks being kind of difficult to interact with will be a non-issue because we're going to get another couple of key flexible pieces of landmark interaction into the format. So I think alternate win cons in general are a good, sweet thing to have and build around in the game, but I think it is worth pointing out, I think they kind of flubbed how they sequenced their releases there. Well, like, to be fair, Radyuk, like, the dollar amount that it costs to play Runeterra, like, isn't really relevant to me personally. So, like, while like, it's definitely, and like, Runeterra is actually free completely for me to play because Riot's great and they support their creators, but like, to give context, I dropped off 1,000 Twitch subs per month. Switching over, and I'm optimistic that I'll eventually build back up that amount as Runeterra grows more, because I think Runeterra has a lot of room to grow, but like, the amount of money saved paying for game objects is definitely far less than the income differential. But life is also too short to do things that make you constantly unhappy. And playing crappy games made by crappy companies made me very unhappy. I appreciate the Prime though. As like I said, as new folks like you come into the channel and pick us up, it doesn't new audiences aren't built overnight. A lot of my wonderful audience came over to Runeterra with me, but not all of them. And we'll slowly build up new folks as we go. Honestly, is it too aggressive to Bastion here? I'm kind of into it. Yeah, I agree. Their initial venture into esports stuff like yesterday will do fantastic things to grow the player base. As they add more cards and do more stuff like that, that's just events that people want to play in, like very organic, fantastic way to build up the game.
Let's boogie.
How much money did I spend on Magic Arena? My total spending on Magic Arena from when it released to when I stopped playing was a little over $4,000.
The dragons raised claws to get out.
Shyvana gonna get flocked here. I keep track of how much I spent on Magic in general. I basically, so when I was playing Magic professionally in paper, yeah, but like for reference, Glacier, like 1,000 Twitch subs is $3 grand a month. Just for context, post tax 3,000 Twitch subs is, or 1,000 Twitch subs. Like Twitch streamers get $350 per sub. Just for context. I've talked about that number before. That's a number you could find by Googling. Do I want to trade this for the spider? I think I'm into that exchange. So when you're a Twitch affiliate or a smaller partner, it's $250, but when you achieve a certain threshold, you get a 70% cut. So folks just starting out get half. For people that are new, I've been doing this for a while. My channel has been partnered for almost a little over 5 years now. I've been streaming for close to 7. We're just dropping Lieutenant here. If they attack, we'll probably take... I'm probably not taking this trade, actually, huh? Probably want to save this to hook this next turn. Was streaming something you always wanted to end up doing for money. It just ended up that way. Anybody that goes into making content on Twitch with the mindset of I'm going to turn this into a job is going to be incredibly disappointed. Like most things in life, being successful at streaming requires not only hard work and dedication, but it also requires being very lucky and knowing the right people and just having the right breaks. There are a ton of people out there that I'm sure are very talented content producers that will literally just never have people in front of them because there's just so much content that gets produced in the world. Discoverability on basically all people complain about discoverability on Twitch, but like as someone who's had a YouTube for almost a decade as well, discoverability sucks on all these platforms. For people that aren't familiar with my story, part of how I got my break into doing what I do here is I traveled to play Magic the Gathering professionally, and I made a name for myself doing well in those tournaments, so I was on the tournament streams playing interesting decks and playing marginally above average. And that is how I gained a small amount of notoriety to springboard into there. And like, obviously, I'm also decent at making content. You can't just have a little notoriety. You also have to be good at what you do, but you also need both, right? You can't have one without the other. So like, I won't tell you I didn't work hard to get where I am, because I've definitely worked hard, but like, I also understand the lucky, fortunate breaks I had to get to that spot in addition to the hard work. And now you have notoriety. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so how do we feel about saving Shyvana here? I want a single combat. Do I want to? I could kill Draven. We're killing Draven regardless, right? I think I'm gonna do this and save my dragon. Hey, thanks for the Prime Saucy Mail, man. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for supporting mine. They have another burn spell here. They can save their Draven, but I think I'm okay with that. So like if they like poke her again to pop the barrier, she'll trade here and then this'll live, but I think that's fine.
Never keep a dragon waiting.
Yeah, big fish and small pond's a real thing too. Like I'm a medium-sized Runeterra streamer with my 400 viewers, but like I'm a tiny Twitch streamer compared to the people that are really big on Twitch. Interesting. Okay, so they've elected to preserve their life total as opposed to saving their Draven. So maybe they have another Draven in their hand. We're definitely a little bit behind at the moment. We have more board presence here, obviously, but opponents got 5 cards to R4, or 6 cards to R4, but 2 of our cards kind of aren't real cards. One of our best draws at this point is probably Dragon's Clutches. Man, that's super unfortunate. Let's have a little bit more mana, we could do this. I think we're dead. Then we have like 1,500 viewers regularly on Magic. No, that's not quite accurate. My peaks were higher, but my average was low. So it's very easy to remember the peaks. I would discourage people from using anecdotes when you have objective data. So like, there's websites that track Twitch statistics. So like, for example, in 2019, I averaged, that's actually more than I thought. For 1,400 was my 2019 average. There were also a couple of front page views on there that basically botted up my numbers though. So it's probably closer to 1,200. Pretty okay with this hand in the aggro matchup. Having Fleet Feather Tracker into Brightsteel Protector is great. Sully Gnome. This is my own personal stats page on Sully Gnome. There's public facing Twitch stats for basically everyone that streams up there. Deck code, please. You always find the deck code by typing !deck in chat, or if you are on desktop, you can utilize the Twitch extension that should be available. It is worth noting, for the sake of transparency and people that don't understand Twitch, that the peak, like I mentioned, my stats for 2019 were skewed because of front page embedding. The Twitch numbers for Runeterra yesterday weren't entirely organic, so the stream was on the front page of Twitch, which gave them a big boost. That being said, the organic viewership did peak, I think, somewhere between 10 to 12,000 when they weren't on the front page, which is still incredibly good for a newer game like this. So, like, I do think the numbers were organically good yesterday, but you could also point out that, like, there was part of that wasn't fully organic. Alright, what are we hooking here? I think Fiora's eating Draven. I'm gonna put this here because it's a free roll. I'm gonna put this here, and then this can attack into any of their X1s. They have Vision up here. I get a little bit sad, but what's she gonna do? Never beat a Vision.
Yeah, okay.
What's the old saying? Data doesn't lie, but liars love data. Alright, and this is the part where I say we're really far ahead unless their last card is exactly Jinx, so they're gonna untap and play Jinx next turn. Whoa, no Jinx! Sometimes lucky, chat. Sometimes lucky. Untap, start their turn. I need to rip untap out of my jargon phraseology.
I salute you.
The heart's as big as his biceps.
Nah, it's important, especially if Riot decides they want to have me back on their official cast. It's good to not use jargon from other games for this, especially one like Untap that doesn't make sense. Replenish. Just saying start their turn is probably fine. Probably fine. Now, and part of the thing too is you want to use as little jargon as possible, especially on official casts, because you want things to be digestible and communicatable, right? So, like, even if there was a fancy Runeterra specific term for starting their turn, it's much better to just say start their turn, so that way people that are new to the game are going to be able to digest what's going on without having to take another step and learn something new. I'm gonna mulligan these without a dragon to pair with them. I'm definitely keeping Goat. I'll mulligan the Brightsteel Protector too. Just like look for some of our chunkier threats. Seems fine. Single combat seems meh. And honestly, single combat's been kind of bad in this set. I might cut this. It's been pretty mediocre. We don't have a ton of really thick units in this deck, which means that our things are often dying when we do this. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Strickles. Thanks for giving it a chance. It's a lot of fun. You definitely got something special here in their sauce. Well, I didn't take the block last turn. because I had Fiora coming. I guess I have this, so I probably don't offer the trade here. Yeah, we'll probably go Fleet Feather into Goat.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, Pale Cascade could be a super reasonable substitution. It might also be right to just have more threats in our deck, honestly, though, too. Like, I have 3 Sharp Sight, so we also don't have a ton of cheap things to enable Pale Cascade consistently. I think there could just be value in just, like, playing another threat in that slot.
You and I have met before, haven't we?
For people that don't get that voice line, here's this guy with his egg. Here's this card's artwork. It's a good little Easter egg.
Time for the moneymakers.
I don't think single combat's strictly gotten worse so much as other options have just gotten better. Like, I don't think single combat fundamentally is worse than it once was, so much as it's just like the other cards we have available to us just a little bit stronger now. Do I take this hit? Yeah, I think I do, actually. I could cash this into game 3. No, I'm gonna take that. So I think we play Sithra this turn, and then next turn we can gem something into Eclipse Dragon, which is sweet. Going to 12's a little bit scary because my opponent is playing a Captain Pharaon deck. That being said, I have Concerted Strike to kill a Captain Pharaon, and I could probably run them down inside of combat before Pharaon kills us with their various deal 4s. Yeah, Daybreak cards can be good. Just like Solari Soldier is just has a great stat line on it. I can see Solari Soldier being a good choice. That being said, the single combat's gonna look real good here against Ezreal. I also have like Sharp Sight and stuff though. And like that's actually a big thing. So like Sharp Sight fills a lot of the same role single combat used to in this archetype, where you used to need effects like this to deal with things like Ezreal, and now Sharp Sight lets you just pop into combat, right? This is a good note to play around. So I have the single combat to still kill their thing here, but yeah, I should have sharp sighted onto something that wasn't damaged because of guillotine. Was not thinking about that. Oh, this is bad. I should have riposted this. I was thinking I can't riposte the guillotine. Yeah, that's a big mistake. 100% should have riposted this. To not let it get damaged while they had the fleeting guillotine. Yikes. Ooh, that's a nice one.
I have the scars to prove it. You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly.
Probably dead here. Alright, let's wrap up on this one, huh? Theros LOL, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So this one, actually this deck felt pretty reasonable overall. It's just like doing good Demacia things. The Shyvana Screeching Dragon Dragon's Clutches package is one that I really like that continues to feel good. Fiora is just a good, reasonable card. This deck was a good example of, unlike the Shen Fiora deck that like gets her alternate win con very consistently, our deck mostly just uses her as a good cheap card to play to the board, even though we have some protection from her. My one big takeaway from this set was single combat did not feel good. I'm not sure what exactly I want in that slot. I have 26 units, so that could probably afford to be a spell. There's a few different things you could consider for that slot. Pale Cascade could be okay. We are a little bit light on cheap ways to enable it, though, to get that Nightfall. It could be Righteous Play Solari Shield Bearer. I think this card is just stellar in the format in general. Allows you to pressure control decks, allows you to block fearsome units. The extra toughness the turn it comes down is huge. It could also be right to just like add a touch more top end to the deck. Like Cithria the Bold was very good in a number of the games that we played, and I only had room to fit 2 of her in at the top end. I could see it right to fit the third copy in. Yeah, you could just go up tricks as well. So like maybe you just like go Cithria plus Riposte. I don't hate that altogether. This card was very, very good over the course of that set. So like we went down kind of 2 combat tricks, but went up a trick that helps work with Fiora, and then went up another threat. Yeah, I think I like that. This is gonna be the list that I'm gonna post under the video. At any rate, thank you everybody for hanging out today. We had a bunch of new followers. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, I make content here full time. I do Runeterra stuff almost every single morning during the week. I also have a YouTube channel where I post deck highlights every single day, so be sure to check that out. If you haven't checked out my spoiler stuff, we did look at Riven and every other spoiler that's dropped. That's on a playlist on my highlights channel as well. I'm signing off for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and format and publish the Riven spoiler video to there. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Runeterra. For people that like my variety stuff in the evenings, remember I am off on Monday night, so I'll be back tomorrow morning. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday, and stay safe out there. Peace, folks.